Since mainstream media is too scared to talk about this, I'm taking matters into my own hands. Florida State does not deserve to go to the college football playoff in 2023 from what we've all seen on the field. They are clearly not one of the top 4 teams in college football, and before I made this video, I was honestly asking myself if I was a little crazy for thinking this. So I needed some input from the family, aka you guys, because I was curious. Come to find out, you guys are thinking the exact same thing. Here are the results on the screen. 69% of you guys agree with me. What a great number. The poll was actually close when I first posted it, but overnight, no started polling away. Don't get it twisted. If Florida State wins out, the committee will 100% let them in the field. I am not delusional. However, are there teams who are better and more deserving? Absolutely, and I'm here to tell you why. Before we start, make sure to subscribe. Too many of you are watching my videos all the way through and enjoying it, but forgetting to push that button. Make sure to do so you never miss out on another upload like this. Heading into week 13 of the college football season, there are 8 teams with a legitimate shot to reach the playoff, and if you want to count Louisville in there, you can, but they're going to need a lot of help, so I'm going to stick with 8. And there's one team out of that 8 that is the odd man out. This team has only one win against a currently ranked college football top 25 team. They play in a weak conference, and their quarterback is likely out for the rest of the season. Real quick, the Jordan Travis injury was horrible, and I'm sending prayers to him and his family for a speedy recovery. When the Noles beat a top 5 LSU at the beginning of the season, people thought this was it. The marquee win that would hold a huge amount of weight in the committee room, but unfortunately, guys, it didn't turn out that way. LSU is still a good win, but it's not an elite one for a resume builder. They're the 4th or 5th best team in the SEC. This is a team with a below average defense, and this is exactly what FSU was scared of. The LSU win losing its value. All right, so that was the first game of the season. No big deal. They must have had another great win, right? Absolutely not. They escaped a road game against a 4-loss Clemson team. Maybe a couple years ago this would have been big, but we know Clemson's having a down year right now. Then they beat a number 16 Duke team at the time with a very compromised Riley Leonard, who was banged up from previous games. He ended up not even playing the entire matchup. Come to find out, Duke is now 6-5, so not that impressive of a win in my eyes. FSU is ranked 64th in strength of schedule, but you might say, hey, their strength of record has them at 4. Yes, that is right now, but with rivalry weekend, along with conference championships, that is for sure going to drop. They were at 2 when I went to bed last night, and now they're at 4. It also doesn't help that their conference championship game is against Louisville, while other one-loss teams who are behind them have Georgia and Washington, for a quick example. I'm a big numbers guy, as you already know, and when I look at the Week 14 projected rankings in FPI and other analytics, FSU doesn't even come close to the top 4. You know what? Maybe I'm not giving the ACC enough credit. I'm just kidding. Let's take a look at something. So the top 3 teams in the ACC are FSU, Louisville, and UNC. Put those 3 schools up against Georgia, Alabama, Mizzou, Washington, Oregon, and Arizona, Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State. Do you see what I'm getting at? The ACC is nowhere near the level of these conferences. They would get absolutely exposed in head-to-head matchups versus other conference leaders. Let's assume Florida State wins out, which is a big assumption considering the loss of Jordan Travis. They would be a 13-0 conference champion competing against teams like Michigan, who's looked great all season. And I'm saying this because they're favored to win the game against Ohio State. And even in that case, a one-loss Ohio State is more deserving than FSU due to who they've played. Also, the winner of the Pac-12, Oregon or Washington, pick your poison. Either one has a much better resume in a tougher conference. And finally, Georgia or Alabama. If Alabama wins, you have 2 one-loss teams that are unequivocally better than an undefeated FSU. And oh my gosh, I almost forgot to mention Texas, who doesn't play in the best conference and will be playing a 2 to 3 loss team in their conference championship. However, they have a marquee win against Alabama early in the season. Does FSU have a marquee win? No, they don't. Enough of the speculation about the future. What about now? Florida State has been sitting at number 4 in the committee rankings while Washington is behind them at 5 and is clearly the better undefeated team. We all know this. Washington keeps picking up ranked wins, even if they're barely escaping, while Florida State is beating Pitt and Miami. If these teams don't flip spots after Week 12's results, I'm going to Grapevine, Texas. Even after I've said all this. Noles fans, you guys should be pleased right now because FSU controls their own destiny. All that you can ask for is have your team go out there and win games. That's exactly what they've done. The committee would never leave out an undefeated Power 5 champion. But when you really inspect what's going on and you think critically, it's clear that Florida State is not one of the best 4 teams in the country. And if they win out, they'll be stealing a spot from a program that truly deserves it. Florida State fans, I hope you don't hate me. I have an open mind, so if you subscribe and leave a comment defending why FSU should be in, there is a possibility possibility I change my stance. This channel is completely open for discussion. Thank you guys for reaching the end of the video. If you're new, make sure to subscribe. Never miss out on another great upload. Again, thank you guys so much for all the support. I say it all the time, but it's truly unbelievable. I love you guys. You guys are the best community, the best family in the entire sport of college football. I've been Saturday Shenanigans, your home for unfiltered college football content, and I'll see you guys soon.